I know this isn't a hot take, but WWE is cooking. Welcome back to Bob Cigar Wrestling, where I talk about all things wrestling and what I love about it. Night one of the Smackdown draft. What a night. I just want to say that like the fresh coat of paint that WWE has right now is fucking awesome. From the new talent coming in to the broadcast and how they're showing the product is so fresh, and it's exciting because I feel like it's not predictable. Every week we're tuning in and we're getting something new, or it's something old with a fresh coat of paint. For example, bringing in like the Hall of Famers. I know this isn't like a new thing, but if you want to watch like my previous video about how I fell in love with WWE, I talk about how like it was kind of this old nostalgic thing that brought me back into WWE with, and then married it with the new kind of up and rising talent. And I feel like this episode of SmackDown was a perfect example of that. AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. Now, one thing I don't want to do on this channel is just like critique this product and talk shit about it. But what I will say is I never really got AJ Styles. I know he had an extensive background outside of WWE, but I just never really got AJ Styles. I see him in the ring. He's a great performer, but I just don't get his character necessarily. I don't see what the appeal is, but I feel like that kind of changed at the end of this SmackDown. But we'll get into that in a bit. And we'll talk about how I think like moving forward in this new WWE, it's the attention to character, it's attention to the details, the nuances in our performers, and how they have motivations and how those motivations affect what they want. And I think that comes back to like a script writing thing of why this product is so entertaining to watch right now. So we have the first draft pick. Triple H comes out. He interrupts Cody, which I thought was funny. Cody's a bit like, oh, what the fuck? But then they obviously join up and they announce the first draft pick. So number one draft pick, Bianca Belair. She is so cool. Like she is such a strong athlete and a strong woman. And I'm excited to see what they do with her. They obviously want to push her big because she's the number one draft pick. She's kind of been the face of this company outside of Rhea and Bayley, and she's not even a champion. So excited to see what they do. The pairing with Jade Cargill is really cool. I just think we need to find, again, them like a motivation. We need to see what do they want? What are they striving for? What upsets these people? What is their character? Not too sure yet. They're just like beasts in the ring, and I think that's cool. So then we got Jey Uso and Seth Rollins. I think they both went to Raw, and then Carmelo Hayes to SmackDown. I don't know much about this guy, but that presentation was so sick. I'm like immediately bought into this guy. I know he had a bit of a feud with Trick Williams, which I'll talk about in a sec, about it, like with the NXT stuff. But him coming out and kind of just showing up and being like, "Yo, Cody, like let's go. I want to take you on at the title." I was like, "Yeah, this guy rocks." And then they put on a sick match. So LWO have a match. They're mid-carders. I'm interested in them, seeing what's going on. I think this is really cool. Rey Mysterio. I don't know how old that guy is, but he still has it. And I heard he's on some like stem cell stuff. Like I want some of that. So as I age, I can still walk around. Dragon Lee is also cool. He's like kind of this protege to Rey Mysterio, I guess. But again, I want to see him on the mic. I want to see what his character's about. I haven't really seen much from him yet. So I'm excited about that. But I did like the angle with Carlito, how he betrayed him, but they've shown it through like this security footage. And that's excited me because Carlito, I remember him from back in the day, and he's kind of just been sitting around doing nothing. He's kind of been in the background of that group, but it's cool to see him kind of push to the forefront of that. And I like how, again, we're bringing these old characters, is familiar, and we're using that to integrate into the new. And I think that's bridging the gap for myself and probably a lot of fans. And it's got a bit of everything, bit of something for everyone. You know, it's got the old fans coming back to watch the product, new fans are understanding this new talent coming up. So that was really cool. And then Bron Breakker comes out looking like a beast, right? He comes out and he's got this match against Cedric Alexander, who I don't know who that is. I don't know if he's like a new guy. Maybe you guys could tell me a little bit more about him down below if you want to comment and chat about it. I was expecting like this match, but then Cedric does this sick flip off the ropes and Bron just spears him. I was like, oh my God. Bam, 1, 2, 3 to out. And I was like, oh, kind of had this thought going. I was like, oh, these new guys, I'm so keen to see all about them. And then, you know, he just gets squashed. But it made Bron look sick. there's all these like flashes popping up as well, and I keep missing them. Like I don't want to pause it because I want to keep watching the program, but like I got to look up online and see what's going on there. Tiffy time. I get it. She's got something. She's an incredible athlete in the ring. Her character's cool. Like I like how kind of in your face she is, and she's going after what she wants, and she can like back it up in the ring, so it's super believable. She's a real contender. Like you know, when I was at Elimination Chamber in Perth, I was lucky enough to go. She was like so over with the crowd. I think she'd only debuted like a month or two before that, and then like the whole crowd, like 50,000 people, Australians majority, like were loving her. And I think it's interesting she's still a heel. She's winning over the crowd. She's won me over. Super believable. So when she like comes out later, has her match against Naomi, they put on such a great match. Like the women, like coming back to Elimination Chamber and just like now coming back to this product, like the women like hold their own, and I think they actually deliver a different kind of product than the men. They are more theatrical. They kind of don't have to take themselves as seriously. Like the men sometimes take themselves so seriously, and that works, but like the women just have this like spectacular kind of theatrical performance, and they back it up with character. And I love watching the women, and you know they deliver this different style than men. It's kind of refreshing. It's not like they're not trying to be the men, and they're not trying to compete with them. And they're really like, this women's division is growing, and I'm excited to see where it builds to, because there's some really, really strong stars in this division. And I think they're putting on such great matches. Like Naomi, for example, is such a great wrestler. She keeps doing bangers after banger every week. I would just love to see a little bit more of her character. I want to know what she wants. What is she doing? Like, you know, obviously she wants the title. So then we got the draft, comes out again. We got Randy Orton, stays on SmackDown. Got Bron Breakker to Raw. And we got Nia Jax to SmackDown, who sucks. And then we've got Liv Morgan. She's to Raw. And Liv, if by any chance you're watching this, Rhea is coming for you. She's my Australian mummy. And she's going to kill you. Her and Dom Dom are out. I heard Dom Dom hurt his shoulder, his elbow. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm excited to tune into Raw, see what happens there. It's going to be some good stuff. So then we got the Bloodline. The Bloodline is really cool right now. We got this new Bloodline forming with Solo at the reins. No pun intended, or pun intended. And Heyman's like shit scared, and I'm loving this, because when we finally get Roman back, it's gonna be so sick. They're gonna have this like another civil war. Roman's gonna be this huge baby face. I hope. I'm so like, I miss him. Anyone else miss him? Like I wanted him gone so bad, and now I miss him. Still love Cody. Cody's the man, but like also just miss Roman. So yeah, they come out. Heyman's terrified. He tells us that Roman isn't eligible for the draft, which I think is interesting. Does that mean he's a free agent? Will he go to Raw? Not too sure what's going to go on there. Depends when he comes back, I guess. I love how they just got this like kind of freshening up every part of this product, but also keeping us intrigued and keeping mystery and keeping these top players away, like Roman, and even like someone like Rhea going out. I know we love her so much and she had so much potential, but like it's interesting. It brings in all these like unpredictable, like it makes the product unpredictable, which I love, because we all know it's scripted, but when there's kind of all these factors that come to play with WWE, I find the stakes end up being higher. Like when Rhea comes back and whoever has that title, if Becky still has it or if Liv has it, I think it's just going to be a hunger there. It's going to make it so interesting. And the same comes for Roman. Like the longer he's away, when he comes back, we all know what he wants. He's going to want his bloodline back, and he's going to want that fucking title. And boy, oh boy, is that going to be a sick match. Heyman's looking scared, and Solo's getting into him, like what's going on with the draft. And then KO comes running out of nowhere. He like runs from behind and just like hits him, and they're fighting. And it was like the most hectic screaming. It just cuts to a commercial. But that gets picked up later when Bianca comes out, and she's getting interviewed about the draft pick. She's talking about like how much she loved, like, you know, how excited she is for the future and stuff like that. And then Jade comes out. They both look $1 million. Like They look like such a strong tag team. If they don't put the titles on them, I don't know what they're doing. Like, imagine when they can hold those titles high. They're just going to look so sick together. Maybe we get new belts for them as well, because I love the new belts. The new belts that have come in have been so cool. So then during that segment, KO gets thrown out by Tama Tonga, and then Solo comes out and they're like fighting and they go into the ring. I just love how like the product now feels so integrated. Like anything at any moment can kind of happen. And that's how it should be, because it's real. Like it feels less scripted. It feels less like put together. And I love that feeling of it. It feels unpredictable. I think that it adds this whole new flavor to the product that's so exciting. So they come to the ring, they're fighting. Randy Orton's music hits, and we're like, yeah, boy, it's him and KO. And you just immediately know it's going to be RKO versus the Bloodline at Backlash. And I'm there for it. Like, we didn't need a lot of motivations. The storylines are building. Like, it's a fresh slate after Mania. I know Backlash always feels like a bit of a rushed pay-per-view because you don't have a lot of time to build, but I'm excited. Like, we're kind of just like treading the way to Backlash, which is cool. I think that card's going to look really, really fun. So then my boys, the Dudley boys, they come out. Everybody's chanting, "We want tables." They put the glasses on. I'm like, yes, this is sending me back for when I was a little boy with my brother, and we're like buying pay-per-views from the DV store, and we're just watching the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys just put Mae Young through tables off stages. They used to bloody powerbomb, like I swear, like an 80-year-old woman off the stage through tables. And I'm glad they don't do that anymore because it's so risky. But boy, you go watch those videos, they're like hectic. They come out, they announce the next set of drafts. I believe it was LA Knight to SmackDown, Ricochet to Raw. I love this guy. He doesn't have like an amazing character. And I just want to clarify, like, it's not the performer. I feel like it's more the creative about like, what do they want? Like, what are they striving for? And I'm missing a little bit of that from Ricochet. But what I do know is he is insane performer in the ring, and I think moving him to Raw, there's a lot more people on the roster, a lot more time to showcase him. I'm excited. I think he can really excel in the mid card there, and hopefully he can get that Intercontinental Championship match, get his IC title back. I'm not too sure what they're going to do there. Solo and the Bloodline to SmackDown, and then Sheamus to Raw. So then it's Tiffy time. Blessed. Double Tiffy time. Look, I've already gone into it. I think this match was like really cool. They're both just so athletic and they're just bringing it. And I was like, I'm not too sure what's going to happen here. I was thinking maybe, Tiffy versus Bailey at Backlash was going to be really, really fun and fresh and cool. Wasn't too sure what they're doing with Naomi there, but then Nia Jax comes out. Fucking hate Nia Jax, man. I don't know what it is about her. I just don't like her. I know that's the point. They got me. Sue me. I hate the heel. Anyway, she comes out, beats up Bailey. You're like, what the fuck? Why? And then Tiffy throws Bailey in the ring. Double moonsault. Beautiful moonsault onto Bailey and Naomi. They announce later, triple threat for Backlash. I'm in. All three of them are sick. Like, Bailey is so cool. I love her as champion. I want to have some more like in-depth feuds, and hopefully she finds someone that can like really go the dance with her. Sasha Banks is one of my favorites back when I first started watching in 2020, 2021. I'm hoping someone like Tiffy can kind of bring out a really good feud within Bailey. Karrion Kross has like this little like vignette, and I want him to succeed so bad because I like his kind of presentation. I just think something's missing there, and I think I've kind of figured it out. I don't think he has enough stakes. We don't know what he wants. He just wants violence. We can't just want violence. We need to know why. We need something to invest in. I think they're coming out too hard. I don't know if it's him as a performer, but like, I think if we just give him a really solid feud that gets under his skin, I think maybe we need someone to break his heart. Like if his girl broke his heart or something like that, now we have motivation into why he's acting this way. But he's just violent because his character's scary, and it's just not cutting the mustard for me. It's not cutting the mustard. I really want him to succeed, so I'm interested. That it's cool that they're giving him screen time. I liked how they presented that vignette, so hopefully with like a little bit more time, they can develop something there that's like really cool into the year. Teddy Long comes out. again, I don't know how many times I have to mention this, but I'm loving the old boys coming back. He announces draft AJ to SmackDown, Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy stay at Raw. Andrade to SmackDown, Kiana James from NXT gets brought up. I'm like, cool, who is this? They played a little vignette. I'm interested about her. It's cool that she got brought up. Let's see what happens. And NXT's like been kind of exciting for me lately. I caught the Trick Williams and Dragunov match because I know that he dropped the title and people are saying that Dragunov's probably going to get drafted to Raw or something. Maybe we'll find out on Raw. I watched that match. That match was sick. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched the Soul Ruka match because there was a clip online of her doing, I think it's called the Soul Crusher, where she does she jumps on the ropes, does a front flip, or is it a back flip? Front or back flip, grabs the person and kind of does like a RKO neck breaker type thing. And it looks incredible. Her presentation's cool. She's like colorful surfer girl. Maybe it's the Australian in me, but like I like the surfer. I've never seen that in the WWE, to my knowledge. So I'm interested in NXT now. And then we get the main event. Carmelo Hayes, NXT call-up against Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. This is main event wrestling. We've got our star. He gets called out by this dickish, overconfident heel. And he's like, sure, let's go. But the storytelling in this match was great. Like Cody, he's given him this opportunity because he's gracious. He's this gracious babyface champion. And they put on such a great match. Cody as a person is so giving to Carmelo Hayes. Like he was willing to take these crazy bumps, these near falls. And, obviously Cody's never going to lose. But like he pushed Carmelo to that line where it's like, damn, like he could compete at this level. Like I totally believed Carmelo Hayes is a main eventer. And it's his first match maybe not his first match on the main roster, but his first like presentation main event on the main roster after he got drafted. And I was like, yes, this is the cycle from building up talent from NXT and bringing him to the main roster and integrating them with characters that are already and integrating their characters into storylines and understanding their motivations and what they're like. So now I know like Carmelo Hayes is this overconfident heel, but he kind of backs it up. He's going to get super over on this roster. I know he will. And I will not be surprised if he becomes a top babyface within a couple of years. Definitely title material. I just thought that match was great. I thought Cody was incredible in that match. He's so good at selling. Like he makes Carmelo Hayes look so good. And Carmelo equally makes Cody look good. Like they're both doing high flying, kind of off the rope moves. They have similar move sets. Maybe it's one of those ones where like they're so similar that like they kind of butt heads and they can't figure each other out. I'm kind of interested in that feud. I know we're going to see more of Carmelo Hayes, hopefully with Cody. I really enjoyed that presentation. And those are my thoughts on the latest episode of Smackdown. I love professional wrestling. I love understanding it. I'm new around here. I have a filmmaking and a writing background, so I'm kind of exploring this new passion with a background of that. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be posting videos, things I enjoy, things I see, things I like, recapping episodes. So comment below if you have any questions for me, or maybe you want to educate me on something I'm not too sure about. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to be making videos every week, so stick around.